Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So just over the last 8 years, like I finally, just decided to stop taking people's verbal abuse and whatnot. I mean, it's just like, oh, like you're black people don't hurt or whatever. But definitely having people think that it's okay to call you out of your name and everything, that think that I think that like it's okay to just say anything and anything that as they please, whether it's in a public space or not. And I no, like I that's not what I stand for. Definitely giving people respect when they have not earned it or they should have lost it, a long time ago. Having meetings with people where they're just bringing up people that shouldn't technically be in the story. Let's see. Definitely just, taking way too much even in the dating, I guess, world. I mean, that's starting to go into a little bit more personal, I guess. But I mean, like, no one should go through, being told that they're entitled when it's just like the bare minimum of what is asked for in a relationship. Like, if I'm needing some emotional support, I don't think it's being entitled to ask for that. It's not like I'm asking this person to pay off any rent, pay off any bills, pay off my school loans or anything, like, or take me shopping. Like, I'm not asking for that. Whether someone is telling this person that that is what I want, or making it seem that, oh, they're my bestie or whatever, so they know like all of the things, that is a different story completely. But just definitely not taking people's shit. I mean, I guess it'll be like, oh, but Lisha, like, you're such a celebrity, or like whatever the fuck. Or like, oh, like you're blogging or YouTube. But I mean, like, that's just being consistent and just uploading random videos in my spare time or when I should have been doing schoolwork or something or studying. But it does not negate the fact that I let a lot of things slide over the years. I like literally was punched in the face by someone and they were like, "Oh, well, I didn't do that." Like seconds later I'm like, "Are you crazy? Are you insane or something?" To someone saying like, "Oh, I don't hurt my friends or whatever." And, "Oh, we're such gal sisters," but yet they're flirting with the guy that I'm with. And just things like that, just like being a doormat for people. And it's like, oh, like she won't speak up when you do something to her. You can keep doing stuff to her type of thing. And you show people how you want to be treated. It's like, oh, you're not going to speak up when people do X, Y, and Z, when they disrespect you in front of your face, in public. They call you out of your name, in a public space. Oh, you're not going to say anything. Oh, okay, cool. Like I can keep doing this and you'll keep like running back to me type of thing. And it's not what I would want to raise my own children whenever, or if I have them, or if I choose to have them in the future. It's not what I want to show other people. Like it is something shameful. It's more shameful than, any other like stupid stuff or whatever. Definitely just, being strung along. And I remember I told someone, I was like, yeah, like I feel like I'm being strung along in this relationship. They're like, oh my gosh, like how could you say that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but you are, like, you're like, oh, like, where do you want to go, for like a date? And I'm like, hey, I feel I want to go to this place. And it's like, okay. Months later, still haven't done shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me things and I'm telling you stuff? And it is just going one through and one. in one ear and out of the other. And it definitely makes me reflect to, all my other relationships, like where I might have unintentionally done such things, like being with people where it's like, oh, like I can literally like slap you around and ask you like, oh, do you want to get choked so hard that you pass out or whatever. And it's like, no, thank you. I kind of like my brain. I can think of some cool stuff with it. Let's not go there. And people just letting all sorts of things come out of their mouths, and it's like, oh, like Lisha won't speak up for herself. Like you can literally say anything or do anything, and she'll keep you as a friend or in her life. Like she is like your walking punching bag. If you're having a shit day, you can take it out on her, and like no more. Like no more. Like even though I'm speaking up about things, way after the fact, it's almost like better late than never, and just doing my best to say something at the ready, because you know I want to be able to get along with people. Like I know some people just want chaos or want confusion, or maybe they'll just be like, fuck you. Like I'm going to say that you think that you're better than me or whatever, and just leave it at that instead of seeing you as the person that you are. There's like so many other factors, and I guess the little bit of views. I mean, like there's so many other people who have like thousands of subscribers, who have like hundreds of people liking, their posts, and I'm like, I feel very appreciative that people have stopped to check out my stuff. Even though it's not, the best of quality, or, just kind of like, oh, I was bored, like, I hope you guys like it, I hope it's okay. And I appreciate that, it's not me saying like, oh, haha, I'm better with my little pixelated webcam tutorials or whatever. And like, that's so silly to me. But, I'm not going to keep letting myself get hurt, and letting myself get distracted with other people's drama. Like, oh no, like my friends are having such a bad time. Like I want to speak up and just like have things better, because, I don't like that type of conflict. Like, oh my God. When this is probably just like all fun and games for them, and I'm sucked in and I'm losing time, and, I could be doing like a million other things, and like, I don't know. Like, I want to say it is what it is, but I hate cliches. Um, because people should be accounted for their actions, or like, hey, this hurt me, like I wish you wouldn't do that or whatever, and like, okay, like I understand that, but like anybody can just say I'm sorry, anybody can just um do that too. I mean, like I know I'm thinking like so many steps ahead with that, but um, like being take it for granted, taken for granted. Like, oh, like she'll always blog, right? She'll blog for me, and I don't even have to pay her a dime. Like, yay, I'm saved so I can keep getting investment money and not paying staff. But I literally have someone that's supposed to be staff, I guess, and I'm not going to pay them because this is what they do. They do this stuff for free. Like, true, I blogged for free. It was like writing diary entries. But when it comes to actually like volunteer stuff where you're saying that you're going to pay someone for this, then that everything has changed, you know. But I know that there's hundreds and thousands of people out there who have been struggling with something like this as well. And just because I probably have had just few more people following me, I mean, my voice is heard more in some ways, but in some ways it has not been. Um, I mean, it hurts to think that when you're helping someone, like they'll appreciate it. Some people just won't appreciate it. They'll think and be like, oh, like I am entitled to this help, like thank you. Like, are you going to help some more? Okay, well, you're not. Well, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to be doing this type of thing. Using obligation to kind of guilt trip you. And it's tough. It's tough. Like, I am not the business person that I want to be yet. I don't have the business acumen that I want yet. However, I work on it as much as I can. And that's just like a personal thing. Because I've tried and I've failed. And those failures have just been lessons. And, it is what it is. Like maybe one day it'll all come together, or, I'll have a team where I don't have to stress my brain out with all of the facets of things, like how I did my blog and YouTube. And, things would just go a lot better and faster and stuff. But, just until that time comes. I mean, like, it's kind of a lot and I kind of ramble a little bit. Ranting and raving and rambling. It's what I do, I guess. But I try to stay on topic. At least I'll do my best. But, I mean, even with the heartache and everything, it is a life lesson. It is something that I just need to learn and have it stick in my head and stuff, like how, you learn math, you learn reading or whatever, or if you are able to learn, because I know that education can be a privilege too. I know that there's places where, women can't, or female body people can't, learn certain things. But, it's just a learning process. And being able to finally kind of put my foot down to just say, like, no, like, you cannot disrespect me. Like, you're calling me a hoe in a public space and saying, like, oh, you're such a bitch, when everybody around us doesn't even know the context, but you're painting me as this person. And, like, do I speak up and make a scene or whatever and, like, fall into this, like, trap? But, I do not want to make any promises with uploads, because at least to myself, this channel is kind of dead. I know sometimes I'll get like a random view or something. It's like, oh, I don't have anything new for you guys, really. And just dealing, or kind of dealing with, like, someone is sabotaging this relationship or someone is saying this, and it's like, does anyone fact check? Does anyone say, like, hey, that doesn't sound like her? Or is it just like, oh, well, she has all the views in Chicago, oh my gosh, so she must be like this way or whatever, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna believe all of this stuff, without saying, like, hey, like, what is the full context? Like, how come she's not in the picture to speak her mind? But it's cool. It's cool. Like, I know that's how people operate. And if that's the game that they want to play, I guess do what you do best. But until next time, live, learn, love, and grow, I guess.